So we have the topic of the holidays, Christmas just passing by, and there's some lot of social media buzzing going around about Stephon Diggs and Cardi B, and the fact that they're saying that Stephon Diggs wasn't with Cardi B for the first Christmas for their baby that they just had. I believe in November she had a baby boy, beautiful baby boy, bless him. They're saying that he's getting hit up by fans saying that he should have been with Cardi B for this Christmas. Now, Stephon Diggs and Cardi B, I know she went on an interview with Gayle King and said this is her boyfriend. So Stephon Diggs and Cardi B, a boyfriend and girlfriend. I think the title of boyfriend and girlfriend, full blown adults, is kind of cringe to me. And boyfriend and girlfriend. I mean, I'm not saying that don't happen, but boyfriend and girlfriend just I think when you got 4 kids and 5 kids and all of
Mm,
that, even when you're still married, not legally divorced, I just think boyfriend girlfriend is kind of
middle school.
yeah, it sounds very middle school coming from full fledged adults here. But she said that's her boyfriend, so it's her boyfriend. I don't know what boyfriend means. What it means to them. I find that sometimes the Webster's dictionary people just make different meanings to different words. So boyfriend could just mean somebody you smashing. Boyfriend could mean somebody you smash and talk to. Boyfriend means just the person for now. Just like girlfriend could mean those same things. I don't know what it means. I don't know how you have a boyfriend. Anyway, so they're saying that Stephon Diggs did not celebrate Cardi B's Christmas with their newborn son, and that he was with some of his other children that he allegedly has. I don't know if it's alleged. I mean, I don't see pictures of these other children. I saw at least what was it 3 children. I hear on the media people saying that he has like 4 or 5 children, all with different women. I mean, I can't keep up, so I can't. This is all alleged because I don't know what that man is doing with his private parts. Nor do I care. Because if women are okay with getting a check to have these children, uh, Cardi B don't need a check. I'm talking about the other women that may not have the kind of money that he has or he has. If they okay with him raw dogging it, leaving children with them, and so they can get child support checks and hush money checks and checks and checks, and people do that for some reason today. But they saying that he was on daddy duty tour because he was with other kids making his rounds to be with them and not at Cardi B's Christmas. Now, um, you know, if he has kids with multiple women, he probably did not arrange to be with them all at the same time because it's might be different personality clashes or whatever. So he's going individually maybe to different homes, or maybe they came to his home at each different time. But Cardi B, they didn't show any pictures of him and Cardi B together on holiday.
Mm,
She did have some beautiful pictures of her 4 kids. Beautiful Christmas tree she had for each of them. I thought that was so nice. Her kids are really, really. I mean, they are just great kids. And you can tell that she's cares about her kids a lot. Just in what we see from the outside looking in. Um, the baby that she just had is not with Offset. Offset is the husband that she's still married to, but they're, I guess, trying to go through a divorce, but it's not been divorced yet. And somehow in the midst of this divorce, I guess a new relationship started or whatever. But now she had the baby with Stephon Diggs. But apparently they're saying allegedly that Stephon Diggs has like he's been having babies on and on and on and on and on. But Stephon Diggs is not married. Stephon Diggs has not been married.
mm,
So technically he's single, and probably the women that he's, said to have these kids with, I don't know if they're married women in the middle of divorced women, or if Cardi B is the only one that's still married. I don't know. But he's not married. He's a football player, he's not married, and he's just spreading his seed. So, do you think that it was okay that they had separate holidays for the first one, for the baby's first holiday? This is for their baby's first holiday. I don't know if the other babies, it could have been the other baby's first Christmas too, some of them, because they seem pretty young. Some of them are not even 1 year old, so it might have been their first Christmas as well.
Well, that's a bit of a tricky situation. I've never heard of an arrangement like that before personally, but it brings me to the question, why did he have this many children, especially so close, with like multiple women, four kids in total?
Well, we don't know what the total is.
Yeah,
We
you're
just know they're speculating it's at least four. You know, I know one lady recently took him to court for established paternity. This is why Cardi B was pregnant. So we really truly don't know where that, so it's alleged if it's four, if it's five, if it's eight, if it's three, we don't know. Because he's not married to anybody. It's not like he's having all these kids inside of a family. He's wherever he's at having these kids.
yeah, it doesn't he doesn't appear to have much maturity because having that many in the first place, wouldn't that be difficult to now you have to go around and make sure you spend time with each kid rather than just sticking with one woman and you have that kid with her and you can spend all the time with that family as what spending quality time together on the holidays, but instead one has been left out because of this situation.
Well, I think that's a good point. I do think that um, he's doing what the culture is allowing him to do, and to be honest, he's only doing what women are allowing because these women, if they're not married, he's not claiming them because now him and Cardi B are saying, well, Cardi B said that's her boyfriend. I never heard him say that's his girlfriend, or that's his, that they're going to be married or anything like that. But she did say that's her boyfriend. Um, you know, these women that are allowing any woman, because we could take this just from off of him, any woman that's just allowing a man that's not even claiming you, you're not married to, you're not engaged to, you don't even live with. It's bad enough even if you are married or engaged, they can still cheat on you and do all those things. But you're just letting a guy that's just really just whatever, um, casually dating. I don't know what you call it to justify it nowadays, but to get you pregnant and hopefully give you some child support. There's something going on with self esteem there because that's as far as you can achieve for yourself is trying to get a check from I mean, I get it, he's rich, so the child support check is probably going to be more than what you would make in a 9 to 5 if you, especially if you don't have any skills and you don't have a career or you don't have a degree or something. Maybe that child support check, it could be 10,000 a month. Maybe most of them can't even make 10,000 a month. So that might be, they figure they can get that for 18 years, 21 years. That's good. you know um but my thing is like these kids are all siblings. Well, at least the one that Cardi, because Offset has a lot of children too, but Cardi B married him knowing that he had, other children, and it seemed like she was
Yeah.
involved with the other children doing the whole stepmother thing and things like that. I don't know what it is now. So it's nothing wrong with having children. I just think that his new son with Cardi is technically siblings to all the other kids that he has, halfway siblings because they share a father. Why not get a venue or rent out a hall or make a nice space where you can just be with all your kids so you don't have to leave any out. You can spend a portion of that holiday with each one of your kids. You have enough money to do it where it doesn't look very
Like there's favorites or you're trying to choose and prioritize one family over the other
right.
because you wasn't thinking ahead with, oh, if I'm having all of these kids with different women, how am I going to tackle this when quality time comes in?
Right, right. And I think a good way of balance, if this is the lifestyle that you're going to live, start renting venues, start renting spaces so that way maybe you don't have to go to this mom, baby mama house or that baby mama, or they all have to come to your house where you can tell them, hey, this is the location, we're celebrating Christmas, bring all the kids. That way you can get a picture and get the first Christmas in with all of them since they all, I guess, close in age. I think it did come across very ghetto to show a married woman that's in the middle of a divorce holding a baby that she's hiding the face of. She's hiding the baby's face, and I get it, it's a baby. The baby don't have to be famous, but then you're showing all your other kids. So that's the weird part. You're
Mm,
showing your other three kids' faces, but then this kid, you're being very, private about it. So why not be private about all your kids? Like what is making you private about that one? But not so private about the other ones at all. And he's showing all his other kids. He because those pictures we saw, um, uh, so this is her taking a picture of the baby. You only see the back of the baby. Okay, that's fine. That's your business. That's your right. But then we see in other photos, and maybe this one here,
I'm pretty sure it was this one.
we see him showing off his other son or daughter. I'm not sure. It says one of my boys, one of my boys' first Christmas. So apparently he has multiple boys. I know, so it'll be that one at least, and the one that he has with Cardi B. So at least two boys apparently. This is a baby. This is a baby, not much bigger than the baby we just saw Cardi B holding. Then this is a daughter, a beautiful daughter, and then this is, like I said, their baby. So they're showing their other kids to a degree, but then this child, that's a blessing just like any other child. It seems like they're just being pride. I don't get that because if you're gonna not show babies, just don't show babies. You get what I'm saying? Like, why are
Right.
we
What's
seeing
the
your baby
difference?
here, your baby here? We're seeing her kids, her three kids. I guess that's one of the other children's mothers that he has a baby with, that he just had a baby with. Yes.
Do you think the other brothers were this arrangement?
They don't care. I mean, I'm pretty sure they don't care
I mean, yeah, if he got
because
away with four, they probably
I don't know
don't.
how many he got away with. It's alleged. We don't know how many kids this guy's got. But my thing is, why y'all showing all the other kids and not showing that one? But that's your business. Um, but I just think as adults, because we're using the word boyfriend, you're not a child. You're an adult. You may be a great mother, maybe a hardworking mother, but kids need
Stability.
stability and smart decisions. Are they able to? Are the kids able to know each other? Are they going to be able to know each other? There's going to be, or when he comes over, is like, what is the arrangement? I mean, that's y'all business. But you know, if these people weren't famous and so they didn't have money, would this be okay? Would this be okay? I mean, I know it happens in real life. So do we look at it the same way, or do we just say, oh well, he'll kick the other kid next Christmas, and maybe if he'll switch out who he does one Christmas to the other? I don't know. But is this okay just because they have money? Because Cardi B's a great personality. We enjoy Cardi B. Cardi B makes us laugh. Cardi B makes people listen to music and enjoy it. He plays football. So is it okay because they have money? Is this the new way of life? Just, pick and choose who you spend holidays with because there's so many, you know, or just if this only looks, they dress this up because there's money involved. And if this was another person that you knew personally that was doing this, would you just be frowning at this person and saying, what the heck is wrong with you? Like, why are you doing this? What was the point of this?
They might take the people who are rich doing this more lightly because either way they have the money to take care of the children. Whereas a regular person, they'd be like, well, why do you have this many kids in the very first place? They'd be holding them more accountable to being responsible than with the rich people, I feel.
And is safe intercourse not a thing? Like for you to have all these kids, somebody's not using protection, somebody's not using birth control, somebody's not wrapping it up, and you're still married and you're having kids by another man, and you just had a baby because the other baby just turned one, her other baby. So it's like, is safe sex not a thing at all? Is this just like what is this? Because if you just had a baby and then you turn around and have another baby within a year or just outside of a year from two different men. He's apparently having because his kids are a little close in age. Is safe sex not a thing because you have money? I mean, I know poor people um and regular folks may not have safe sex as well, but when you have money and a certain amount of celebrity, I mean, you have the ability to have all the different types of contraceptives and ways, more than a person that's just a regular person. Even though regular people also can go to the clinic and get medication or whatever they need to, and condoms. I think they even get free condoms out at departments of health and things like that. But if safe sex not a thing, is that ruining society with people just having no value on what they're doing with their body and going with urges and temptation?
Yeah, I think there's definitely many cases like that. Um, People with a whole lot of money may also feel that because money rules the world, they have so much of it. It's easier for them to steer away from the consequences of their actions.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas a regular person, if they mess up, it's gonna take a lot of grinding and responsibility to get through
Right.
that problem.
Right.
Yeah, so they may also feel more invincible to certain things than what a regular person would feel.
And do we think that they're gonna get married? I mean, because this is the guy. So he's showing us a few kids that he's not married to any of the mothers. She's married to somebody else, going through a divorce. And yes, divorces happen all the time. But since he's never been married, she is married, and but they're together. Do you think he will respect her enough to marry her? So how quickly she moved on, how quickly she went and had another baby outside of her legal marriage. You know, when she just had a baby, she just had a baby. By the husband, and then she turned around and have a baby by him. Do situations like this end up in a happy marriage, a happily ever after, where these two will get together and stay together, and instead of saying boyfriend, they'll be husband and wife, faithful to one another, and that's it. They're both in their 30s. Was he 32 and she's what, 30? So do we see that, or is this just like, hey, it's Stefan Diggs for now, it's Cardi for now, and a couple years from now they'll be with other people and have other kids, or maybe just with other people, maybe not have other kids. What do we think?
Um, well, men do take note of how a woman holds respect for herself. He will enjoy her and things like that, go on dates and have intimacy, but he will also take note of whether he wants to make it a long-term relationship or if this is just going to be a fun time. And I feel like if he did it, four times as we know, then he's probably not taking Cardi seriously looking at her situation.
Maybe they're just mutually benefiting each other, so they're both celebrities. So it's like, oh, this our name's a hot topic, so let's just ride out that wave until the wave crashes. You know, hey, Cardi B, Stephon Diggs, more attention to this football game, more attention maybe to what she's doing. I mean, they're both individually successful financially, but I think one big thing we have to stop doing is stop equating money to value. It's a value in terms of economy, yes, but money doesn't make a person a moral person or immoral person, a good person, a bad person. You have to separate the money from the person. The money is what's in the bank accounts. That individual is still an individual. There's people with money that are evil. There's people with money that are nice. There's people that have money that are given. There's people that are money that are very charitable, and there's people with money that are total jerks, disrespectful, treat people disgustingly. We've heard that about a lot of different celebrities. So I think one big thing we need to stop doing is giving value to human beings just because they have money. You know, that money is for the economy and for their lives, for them to live better lives than you. That's why I do not support, going broke trying to support people that are rich. You should not be going broke,
Very
spending your
true.
last dollars on items because a rich person is selling it when they're not going broke to make sure there are people that are buying this stuff are doing okay. So, just that's just a separate thought. But um, you could still be trash, especially in the industry, because the industry creates success. If you're the right color, the right complexion, the right personality that the industry wants to put the engine behind you, they're gonna do that. If you're not, there's plenty of talented folks that are not rich. There's plenty of talented folks that didn't make the NBA, didn't make the NFL, that didn't make the music industry, that didn't make nothing, but they have good hearts and they have true talent. So I do think just in general we need to separate. Stop saying because a person has money, we only see what they put in front of the camera. That camera goes off, we don't know what they're doing. Not to say that these people are good or bad. I think they're most likely both good, decent human beings, but I can't vouch for that. But I do think in general we need to stop equating because people have money that they're good people. Because if that's the case, all the people with a lot of money all over the world, all over the globe, would combine their lots of monies and ways to help all the folks that are not in the 90, that are not in the 3% and the 4% and the 5%. All these folks with money and resources, if they're so good and they're the best people and they're so personable and they're so relatable, they would combine some of those funds to make different types of ways to make this capitalism and things like that more equitable and fair, and to give their fans that are rocking with them hard, spending money to give back. And I'm not talking about just a turkey on Christmas or a book bag, a school drive with pencils and pen. I'm talking about tangible things that could really impact multiple millions and millions of lives, not a couple of people, millions of lives. And there's enough money printed for that to be a reality, but we know it never will be because the people at the top love to stare down at the ones that they consider to be on the bottom. That's what differentiates
Yep,
them.
that's what makes the rich special is that they have access to things that other people don't. So they may value having that status more than actually helping everybody around them and the ones that support them the most.
Yeah, they usually just help, and some of them are even worse than that. Some of them don't even help their immediate family. But I would like to think they at least help their immediate family. But after that, they don't care. That's why I don't know why fans be going hard, getting in fights, spending their last dollar. I don't know why y'all do that. I don't know why some of y'all do that because they're not doing that for you. They're in a business to make money and to protect their families and to create generational wealth for what they got. So I don't know why you would spend your rent money, your mortgage money, your car note money, your school clothes money, your grocery shopping money to go to their concert, to buy their tickets, if you can't afford it. Now, if you can, that's great. Do what you want to do with your discretionary income. But the folks that say I couldn't pay my rent and I didn't do this, do that because I was going to this concert and I was doing that,
Oh,
shame on you
that's
because you putting yourself in that situation. They're not coming to your house forcing you to give up that money.
that's going extra hard. You should never love something or someone more than yourself. If it's going to affect you in a detrimental way, then you should be putting yourself first, especially with another human being who doesn't know who you are or that you exist. Should definitely be prioritizing your livelihood over theirs, since even if you didn't support them, they would be just fine.
I agree. I agree. So let us know in the comments. Do you think that this is a complicated situation? Do you think next year maybe they'll all get together in a venue so that all the kids are included for the Christmas holiday, the Thanksgiving holidays, all the family holidays? Do you think we'll see that? Do you think that these folks are going to get married once this divorce, if this divorce gets finalized? Do you think they're going to go ahead, jump it, and get married and be faithful to each other? Or do you think this is going to be out of a relationship that just continues out of convenience and mutual beneficial factors? And do you think that, money is excusing this? Is this okay? Is this the new way forward? So let us know. We enjoyed you and we thank you for your time for taking a listen to us.
Have a good one. Thank you for listening.